So I'll say one of the myths is that planning works, right? I think one of the myths that is so pervasive because planning has served people well in a relatively stable time where you could extrapolate from the past. And people are still holding on to that myth, even in the face of unprecedented volatility and change. So I think the sooner you let go of the myth that planning is the route to future success and try some other ways, I think that's going to be helpful. Another one, and going along with that, is sort of acceptance of the unknown. And acceptance that you cannot know some things, and therefore you have to try some other ways of moving ahead into the future. The other myth that I find is when people look around for innovative parts of their company, if you're a business leader, human relations or HR is the last place that people get to, in my experience, and I'm generalizing a little bit. So people often look to product development, R&D, finance, even these days, all kinds of things are the usual suspects for innovation. People are not looking at people. And I think HR is going to be one of the major arenas for innovation going forward, because there's a lot of people potential that's being wasted and left on the table, primarily because they're not allowed to participate in decision-making, which is what Gopi was touching on when he talked about democracy in the workplace. Participative decision-making is so crucial to innovation. So if that's being ignored, I think that's one of the myths. And also, I think all of these in some ways relate to a fundamental divide between management and workers. That's the result of a 200-year-old assumption that's not being challenged at all. And I think in a lot of small organizations, organically, they've dissolved some of those boundaries between who's management and who's doing the work. And you'll find that more and more the activities are intertwined, which also brings in more participation from the people formerly called as workers into activities that were formerly called management activities, like strategic planning, for one.